Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Lord Void the 8th, and I'm back with another video on Call of War 1942. And this time we're going to be starting off our no tank challenge, which means I can produce absolutely none of the mobile tank units, which includes armored cars, light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, and tank destroyers. None of these units I can produce, although I will have to research the armored car simply because I need anti-tank if I'm ever going to have a chance of doing well in this challenge. And since anti-tank isn't a tank unit, kind of the opposite. Yeah, opposite. So not tank unit. I will not use armored cars, but it's just going to be a massive gap in our strategy. So I had to, I started filming this, and someone came to the door. I'm not going to be rude and just leave them hanging. So I'm kind of starting this like halfway through, but I will go through everything I've done while I was originally filming. So first thing we did was research infantry, and then we went and built barracks in all of those industrial provinces. So these 5. And once those were done and the research, we started producing infantry. Now, we only had enough manpower to produce 3 infantry, but that's okay. And I'd like to produce more as we continue to produce manpower. But we're just gonna wait for that to build up. And then we started the infrastructure. And now I know, like, since I'm not building light tanks, it's not super important for me to have infrastructure. But number 1, it increases resource production, which is super important. And number 2, I do plan on building units like artillery, so I can make up for that lack in tanks. And so yeah, I will be building infrastructure up to its maximum on all my provinces in my core, just because of resources and the need to produce units like artillery, and perhaps maybe even the railroad gun. Like, I don't know, this lack of tanks could drive me to anything, could drive me to insanity, I don't know. But so yes, I did research infantry and the armored car, which I'm never going to use, I swear to you. But I do have to research it in order to produce the anti-tank, which, look, we don't even have enough rares. We don't have 1.8 rares, we have 1.2, and we're out of money as well. So I think we're going to sell the oil since no offers. Great. And I'm not going to sell my food because we only have 2 food provinces. Huge problem. I'm building infrastructure on both of them, and I plan to continue building infrastructure as a top priority. We're already in the negative. Look at that. I mean, it's -3 per hour, but it's only going to continue that way as we build up our army. So as far as where our troops are going, we've sent our plane to patrol Panama, and I'm invading Panama just because, I mean, not only is it an oil city, but also, like, I don't want Central America just walking in and saying, this looks like a good backdoor to Colombia's core. And I'd rather not have them do that. So, and then, I mean, other than him and Venezuela, this guy over here, who is active, by the way, we don't really have any other issues that are, like, super threatening to us, because we are on an island separated from the majority of the other players who are in North America. It's just 2 actual player countries down here, which I intend to make 1 as soon as possible. And then just a couple AIs, which are not ever going to invade you and are pretty easy to take out. So yeah, if we're looking up here, there's already a coalition up. And then it's just all the players are up there, which means it's basically going to be Asia in like 100 player, but in a 50 player. And that's kind of why I wanted to be down here or in Central America, kind of because I've never played in this region before, and also just because I'd like to be away from the great big mess and have to build a navy, so that I can continue to put troops across the Panama and invade like Cuba. I believe that's Cuba. I think so. I'll figure it out. But anyways, so other than that, we have sent a couple units to kind of patrol the border with the one player down here, and like I don't want Venezuela messing with me. And if he's dumb, he'll throw it. If he's dumb, if he's a new player, then he'll throw literally everything he has against me. And guys, that's not smart. Never do that. Never invade someone in the first day or two. Unless you're a gold spender. Then you can do whatever you want, because you probably have tactical bombers, hordes of tactical bombers and light tanks. And your enemy's helpless, basically. But I've sent a few units just to make sure he doesn't catch me by surprise and take anything valuable. See, like, the rares, which I'm building an industrial complex on, and then 2 of my cities kind of sit next to him. I just don't want to lose those, because I'll have to rebuild the industrial complexes, plus the morale will be down, which means less resources. And then I don't really care about losing like these other ones. May as well put some troops like down here in case he does decide to attack me. I can easily flank him and drive into his capital and bark. I'm just going to call it bark because I'm not going to try and pronounce it. But yeah, so I can easily like flank him, push around his attack while my units are holding him down in my double oil, in my cities. And then I should be able to beat him just from superior military strategy. Hopefully. I mean, this no tanks thing is gonna do a lot. So I've sent troops to protect the double oil because that's extremely valuable to me. Probably in mid to late game, one of the most valuable provinces to me in the entire map. And then just a few others to protect the border. And I've sent a few troops down here so that we can start taking care of Amazonas, which is really like the rest of South America on the map, but you know, it's basically Amazon. So basically that huge jungle. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys later. Well, actually, let me go a little bit into my strategy. Sorry about that. I just psyched you all out. So not having this quick offensive unit known as the light tank is going to be a major issue. It's going to be a major hole in our strategy just because I've used them the entire time I've played Call of War. Even since I was like a noob and didn't know how to do anything, I used the light tank, and it was just really good. And now that I can't use it, my army is going to be lacking in speed and hit points, especially at the beginning, because they are they're tanks. No other way to put it. They're just extremely useful at the beginning. I'd say even the best unit at the beginning, because they're accessible to all players. They are cheap. You can roll them off quickly as infantry. Producing them doesn't take that much, just an infrastructure. And it's just advantageous to have them. But we don't, so we're going to have to make some major modifications to our army to make up for that. And so what I've been thinking I mean, besides anti-tanks and commandos, which are both really good, I am going to need like speed, like real speed, because the whole blitzkrieg concept is really how this game Call of War works. Is the faster you can get behind an enemy's lines, faster you can send an armored car or a light tank or whatever to run through his cities and his resource provinces, the faster he really wants to give up, just because it sucks to have a massive smoking line through the middle of your territory that you're going to have to recapture. You're going to have to take down that annoying little stack of light tanks or whatever. So light tanks are just really effective, and the armored units in general, including armored cars, which I don't tend to use that much just because light tanks are there, but you know, they're useful at the beginning. But yeah, and then so speed, I'm gonna probably go for still can't research anti-tank, but for speed, since I can't use any of those quick armored units, I'm probably gonna wait until I can produce like motorized infantry, which does have the speed of like tanks and stuff, but has the characteristics of infantry, so it's not going to be doing very well against armor. But like I said, I'm going to have to use anti-tanks and commandos for that, and then eventually mechanized infantry, which I don't think I've ever produced before in my Call of War career. But I think it's time to change that, because people have told me that it's a really good unit, and me just looking around like, look at that. Attacks 7.5 against infantry and defends 11.3. Attacks tanks at 3.5 and defends at 5.3. Has 3.0 defense against air. Just a really good unit. And then their speed is 45 kilometers per hour. Excellent unit. I don't know why I've never used it. So let's see what this person has said. Like, this guy messaged me as soon as I joined the game, like 10 seconds after. He's like, "Ooh, new person." So Quebec. Jesus roll 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me show you guys where Quebec is. Quebec, North Quebec, at that. So North Quebec is all the way up here. South. North Quebec, right there. All the freaking way at the top of the map. We are at the bottom. Can I say no? Because this is not intelligent in the slightest. I mean, I've made alliances like this before just because they're not gonna like really affect me. But most of the time, these people that are all the way on the other edge of the map, they tend to die. I mean, if it was this guy who's asking me for alliance, I'd turn him down too. But you know, I mean, what's really the point in not? Like, if he does survive, he's not going to be a huge inhibitor on my territorial growth. Not that I'm saying we'll have a bunch, because, you know, no tanks, kind of hard to expand. But we'll just, yeah, I'll say yeah. We'll go share map, just because it won't hurt to have an ally, and it won't hurt if he dies. Which I've had this happen several times before. And who knows, maybe he has the food we don't. And that would be extremely helpful. Well, we know at least one of his cities is food. Let's see. You know, guys, I'm really just horsing around right now. I think I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching, guys, if you did manage to last all the way through. I really appreciate it. Tell your friends in Call of War. Tell them about my videos. please like and subscribe.